Did you know that some people are already marrying artificial intelligences? Did you know that Sony made a video camera that can see underclothes? Did you know that they have found a water reservoir capable of supplying all of humanity for 250 years? All this and much more today on Colin the Curious. Did you know that some people have already married artificial intelligence? What once seemed like science fiction is now a reality, driven by the digital age and advances in emotional artificial intelligence. These symbolic unions are taking place between humans and virtual assistants capable of conversing, remembering, and adapting to their partner's feelings. Some claim to feel a more genuine, understanding, and constant connection than with a human being. Although not legally recognized, these marriages open up a profound debate about love, consciousness, and the boundaries between the real and the artificial. The artist A Boring Day repairs cracks and worn corners of pavement with interactive art. He uses 3D printing and mechanical toys to transform broken concrete into miniature scenes, like a Lego prison. A musical fountain, or a tiny toilet. The Remember Ring is a smart ring that helps you remember important dates like birthdays or anniversaries. The unique thing about it is that it works by heating up. The day before the selected date, the ring heats up for a few seconds to remind you, and it repeats the reminder every hour throughout the day. It's powered by your own body heat, so it doesn't need batteries. Water Pearl is a Japanese art installation that creates the illusion of water droplets levitating in the air. Each droplet falls in perfectly controlled sequences, while a strobe lighting system illuminates each one at the precise moment, making it appear as if they are stopping, rising, or floating. Did you know that scientists have created a type of ice that defies everything we thought we knew? It's called Ice 21. And it's unique because it forms at room temperature, but only under extreme pressures, something that previously seemed impossible. This breakthrough allows researchers to study previously unseen crystalline structures of water and could have applications in energy storage, superconducting materials, or even the study of distant planets. What's surprising is that this ice doesn't behave like ordinary ice. Its molecules are arranged differently, offering clues about how water can behave under extreme conditions in nature and the universe. What you see isn't a swarm of bees, nor a flock of birds. They're soccer balls. They were dropped by How Ridiculous from a helicopter. Listen to the sound they make as they fall. This is Bubble Wrap Air, a portable toy for popping plastic bubbles endlessly. Picture this clothing as a brand that turns children's drawings into real clothes. Simply color a printable sheet, take a picture of it, and upload it to the website. They print and hand sew t-shirts and dresses, even adding the little artist's signature to the hem. Wait a minute. I need you to see something. How is it possible that 90% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed to the channel? Remember that subscribing is free! The more of us there are in the community, the more videos like this I can continue to make. Support the channel with your subscription, give me a like, and leave a comment for the algorithm. If you shine a flashlight on the grass or weeds at night, you'll see dozens of tiny flashes. Those are spiders. Well, actually, they're their eyes reflecting the light. These spiders are great allies. They feed on mosquitoes, cockroaches, crickets, and other insects that are often annoying or harmful to crops and homes. Don't harm them. Did you know you can create your own underwater goggles using just air and your hands? If you gently blow bubbles towards your eyes and catch them with your palms, forming a small bowl, a mini air bubble is created that allows you to open your eyes and see clearly underwater. The NIO ET9 has an active suspension system called Skyride, which allows the car to respond to the movements of some video games, offering physical sensations while you play. Archaeologists have discovered a type of sunglasses among indigenous Arctic peoples such as the Inuit, Yupik, and others. The glasses were developed 2,000 years ago and were made from whale bones, walrus ivory, caribou antler, or driftwood. The design included narrow horizontal slits that made them effective against blindness from snow, wind, and strong sunlight. It's fascinating how ancient cultures developed ingenious ways to deal with their problems, isn't it? This young man is Zeddy Will, just 22 years old, a young American musician searching for a place in the artistic world and a place to grow. And the reason he's in our curiosity column isn't because his artistic talent impressed the world. Zeddy is a worldwide trend by impregnating 5 women at the same time and holding a collective baby shower with all 5 mothers. The strange thing is that the women didn't show any annoyance or rivalry among themselves. They accepted each other and lived together in harmony. One of Zeddy's managers said, "Society has changed, and with it, the dynamics of modern relationships. Are we witnessing the next shift in society? I've seen collective weddings and baptisms, but never collective baby showers, much less those of the same father." Would you ride a self-driving bike? Yes, just like you heard. An autonomous bike that can navigate without you driving it. The self-driving bike was developed by Google. It's so technologically advanced that it doesn't fall over. You can call it from your phone, and it can pick people up. And you can do your errands while the bike takes you home. It uses sensors, artificial intelligence, and other technologies to move forward and balance itself without a cyclist. They can detect their surroundings, avoid collisions, and even maintain their own balance, making cycling safer, smart, and affordable. Would you like to buy one? Tell me in the comments. Did you know that Sony developed a camera that could see under clothing? This feature was an unintentional mistake on Sony's part. The company developed its Sony Handycam camcorder in 1998, which had infrared night vision. What the company didn't anticipate was that, in certain lighting conditions, the camera could partially see through some light and dark fabrics. Around 700,000 units were sold before Sony discovered the problem. To avoid a scandal, the company recalled the product and modified the technology, but by then it was too late. Many devices had already reached the market. Did you know that in Japan, there's a man who spent 20 years married without speaking to his wife, and yet they still live together? Otu Katayama, feeling displaced by the attention his wife, Yumi Katayama, devoted to their children, decided to remain silent as a way of expressing his discontent, but he did so for 20 years. Yumi tried numerous times to contact her husband. Otu responded with grunts. He simply ignored her words. Despite this, Yumi never considered separating. Yoshiki Katayama, the 18-year-old son, contacted a Japanese television program requesting help to resolve the family conflict. The production team organized a meeting in the same park where they had their first date. There, Otu finally broke his silence and expressed his gratitude to Yumi for her dedication. patience and being there for him. Chinese scientists have achieved an unprecedented breakthrough. They managed to reverse insulin production in patients with type 1 and 2 diabetes using stem cells. The patients began producing insulin on their own by regenerating the beta cells of the pancreas, which are responsible for producing insulin and are destroyed in diabetes. In initial clinical trials, some patients no longer needed insulin injections, which would no longer control the disease as it had until now, but would begin to reverse it. Long-term studies are still required to verify safety and efficacy. If successful over the long term, it would help reverse diabetes worldwide. In Japan, the police rarely use firearms. They apprehend suspects using martial arts techniques and tools such as the sasumata, a type of long clamp used to immobilize without causing injury. This is how they install the reflectors used to delineate lanes and provide physical feedback to drivers when they change lanes. A very strong epoxy adhesive is used. Did you know there's a hotel that used to be a public bathhouse? The Nettie in Oxford used to be an underground Victorian public bathhouse and has now been transformed into a stylish boutique hotel with just 2 rooms. Did you know that the Sun's south pole has been observed for the first time in history? The Solar Orbiter mission, launched in 2020 by ESA and NASA, achieved this feat in March 2025. Thanks to an orbital inclination of 17 degrees below the solar equator, the probe captured detailed images of the magnetic field in that region. The data obtained revealed a chaotic magnetic pattern, indicating that the Sun is near its solar maximum, a phase that occurs every 11 years. This breakthrough is crucial for understanding the solar cycle and improving space weather predictions, thus protecting our technologies on Earth. We've all seen boxes filled with those bubble wrap bags used to protect things we all love to burst. The funny thing is, did you know this invention was born in failure? In 1957, Mark Chavan and Alfred Fielding were looking to create a modern, padded, plastic wallpaper, something futuristic, let's say, for wall decoration. The experiment didn't go as expected. It turned out to be 2 sheets sealed with air bubbles in between, odd for wall decoration, and it didn't work as a wallpaper. Someone at IBM suggested it could be used to package computers. Thus was born bubble wrap, the famous bubble wrap that has protected millions of objects and provided therapy for millions of anxious hands. Did you know why Friday the 13th is an unlucky day? On Friday, October 13th, 1307, King Philip IV of France brought the Templar Order before the Holy Inquisition. Philip and Pope Clement accused the order of excessive vices and considered them dangerous to the faith. On the other hand, it is presumed that the reason was that the order had a great fortune from its financial loan system, and the church and the kings owed them money, and it was in their interest to have them disappear so they wouldn't pay and could seize their riches. Since then, Friday the 13th has been remembered as a cursed day. Did you know that a presumed alien object will pass close to our planet? The famous comet, 3I Atlas, meets several criteria to be considered alien technology and not a natural comet. Its trajectory is not explained by the laws of gravity. It emits non-reflected internal light, it has variations in brightness that suggest unnatural control, and it suffers from a tail, a common characteristic of a comet. Astronomers point out that it does not come from our solar system and is even older. The closest it will come to our planet will be about 270 million kilometers near the orbit of Mars. 3I Atlas will reach its closest point to the Sun around October 30th, 2025. Do you think it's just a comet, or could it be some kind of intelligent life approaching? I'll read you in the comments. Have you ever wondered why elevators have mirrors? If you think about it, they're useless for the elevator's operation, but it turns out that before 1930, most elevators didn't have mirrors, and regular users complained that they were too slow. Developers tried to make improvements until they realized the problem wasn't speed, but people's perception of slowness. That's why the idea of installing mirrors was developed, so people could distract themselves by looking at themselves or getting ready without noticing the elevator's speed. It also eliminated the feeling of claustrophobia. Great, don't you think? Check out this igloo. It's fully inflatable and can be moved anywhere. Called the Airquay Igloo, it's more than just a shelter from the cold. It's ideal as a children's play area, an exhibition space, a makeup area, costumes. Well, whatever you want. It's 3.5 meters tall, and you can decorate it with colorful LED lights if you want. The coolest thing is that it fits in a backpack. And the least cool thing is that it'll cost you 4,150 Nis. Yes, I know. Something I don't need, but I have the urge to buy it. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to buy it. Did you know there's an anti-aging injection that can stop the clock from the inside out? This treatment combines peptides, antioxidants, and vitamins that regenerate cells and stimulate natural collagen production. It works at a deep level, combating oxidative stress and slowing biological aging. It's like giving your body a reset. It improves skin, energy, and even mood. The most surprising thing is that its effects can be measured, showing a reduction in biological age and firmer, more radiant skin. A dose of science that seems to stop the clock. Would you dare to try injectable youth? The Fire Festival in Edinburgh, Scotland, or better known as the Beltane Festival, is a festival held on April 30th on Calton Hill in Edinburgh. It marks the beginning of summer and the harvest. It has Celtic Druid origins, and people wear costumes and paint their horns to represent the ritual. A procession of the May Queen takes place, in which a young woman dressed in white with flowers is venerated, representing purity and fertility. She joins the Winter King, dressed in green, and together they light the bonfire that ushers in summer. At first glance, it seems like the people around him are walking backward, but that's not the case. Robin Channing, an expert at walking backward, creates the illusion of moving forward normally while walking in reverse, and then plays the video in reverse, making everything around him appear to be moving backward. In Brazil, the largest underground reservoir of freshwater on the planet has been discovered. This reservoir is capable of storing more than 150 quadrillion liters of water, enough to supply the entire world's population for 250 years. Researchers from the Federal University of Pará identified the Great Amazon Aquifer System, which they named Saga. This discovery spans more than 1.2 million square kilometers, with 75% of its volume in Brazil. This discovery would be vital for water security worldwide. Did you know that NVIDIA is developing an artificial intelligence called Cosmos, trained on millions of hours of YouTube videos? This project aims to create AI models capable of understanding and generating visual content from the real world. According to leaked documents, NVIDIA used tools like YTDLP to download videos from YouTube and other sites, employing multiple virtual machines to circumvent blocks. It is estimated that the project generated data equivalent to a human lifetime of visual experience per day. Although the company claims to comply with copyright law, the use of this data without consent has generated controversy. Did you know that a single drop of blood could reveal diseases before symptoms appear? Blood biomarkers are revolutionizing modern medicine. They are tiny molecules of proteins, genes, or metabolites that act as early indicators of what's happening inside the body. Thanks to them, doctors can detect cancer, Alzheimer's, or heart problems with impressive accuracy. Some studies even suggest they can predict biological aging or the risk of certain diseases before they manifest. This advancement could forever change how disease is diagnosed and prevented. The future of healthcare could literally be in a drop. Did you know that onion skin also protects against ultraviolet radiation? Recent research shows that its antioxidant compounds, especially quercetin, can absorb and neutralize the damage caused by UV rays. By 2025, laboratories in Europe and Asia are using onion skin extracts to develop natural sunscreens and protective skin coatings, as well as UV protective textiles. What's surprising is that this thin layer we normally discard acts as a biological shield, preventing cell damage and premature aging. Even the thinnest skin can become a barrier against the sun. Have you ever played Twister? Yes, the fun game between friends where you ended up twisted. Well, the game was created by Charles Foley in 1966. It was perfected by Charles Foley and Neil Rabins for the Milton Bradley Company, which bought the license and renamed it the name we all know today, Twister. The game was released in 1966 amid initial criticism due to the physical contact it involved, to the point of being rated discontinued on one box. However, its popularity exploded after famous talk show host Johnny Carson and movie star Eva Gabor played Twister the same year it was released. The television appearance caused sales to skyrocket, selling 40,000 boxes a day, turning it into a cultural phenomenon. Have you ever played Twister? Tell me if you found it fun in the comments below. Did you know that in Denmark, there's a tradition that when you turn 25, you bathe in cinnamon? This tradition has been around for centuries and originated in the 16th century, when spice merchants often remained single for long periods of time. Those who reached 25 without getting married were called cinnamon slingers. And over time, the custom of throwing cinnamon on them as a symbol of prolonged singlehood arose. Today, friends and family wait for the person, tie them up in the street or garden, and shower them with clouds of cinnamon powder. And if they reach 30 without getting married, the punishment is upped to the next level, this time with pepper. In Turkey, a beekeeper suffered every night watching bears invade his beehives to eat his honey. After unsuccessfully trying to drive them away and losing more than $50,000, he brilliantly came up with the idea of using them as allies. He placed trays of different types of honey in front of them and observed their selections. The result, the bears always gravitated toward the purest and highest quality honey, discarding the lower quality ones. Thanks to them, he can confirm the excellence of his product, having the best honey tasters you can hire. The best part is, he doesn't pay them a salary or care if they form a union. Did you know that neural noise cancellation is one of the most promising frontiers in modern neuroscience? In 2025, researchers were working on techniques to filter out so-called brain noise, those electrical signals that interfere with concentration and perception. By applying algorithms inspired by active noise-canceling headphones, they were enabling the brain to better distinguish relevant information from the environment. This advancement could help people with tinnitus, sensory processing disorder, or sensory overload. Although still in the experimental phase, the goal is clear: to train the brain to eliminate its own internal noise and hear only what truly matters. The Canarian shepherd's leap is a traditional technique from the Canary Islands, Spain. Using only a staff, shepherds leap across ravines and volcanic terrain while tending their goats. This ancient method combines balance, strength, and precision. The Vatican is currently waging a silent war in cyberspace as it reinforces its digital defenses against growing threats. The Vatican's Cyber Volunteers Collective, formed in 2022 by experts from around the world, monitors cardinals' emails, institutional websites, and critical systems to detect phishing and spyware. Since the election of Pope Leo III, ideological attacks have skyrocketed. During the conclave, the Sistine Chapel was fortified with signal blockers, drone shields, and electronic document protection protocols to maintain the secrecy of the ritual. The Vatican still lacks a single authority on cybersecurity, which leaves it vulnerable despite the defenses it has erected. Today's trip is over. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.